Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the CKC channel. I'm your host, FIDE Master Kelvin Klaassen. And welcome to another edition, part 6 of our special lecture series called How to Beat a Grandmaster. So I'm very excited, and it's bound to be a fantastic day. So we've got a special guest for today's show. He's been on my channel already. He's actually the first winner of the CKC Invitational Tournament, and I've known him for quite a while. In fact, if I think back, I actually played many years ago in the my first year. I'm like everybody knows I'm originally from Eastern Province, but I think my last year, junior year, I played for Western Province, and I was lucky enough to play with this man in the same Western Province team that actually won the under 20. So he is a multiple SA champion and multiple SA champion, international master. Let's just get these visuals going. Where am I now? Just give me a second, guys. Yeah. Welcome, International Master Mohamed Henry Steel. Welcome, Henry.
Hey, Calvin. Hi. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
Good,
yeah.
Thanks.
And welcome to all the viewers. I see Adolf is saying Mr. Steel is really here. Double question mark. Yes, he is here, guys. You can believe it. And welcome, Adolf. So, I've got a couple of questions here for Mr. Steel, but if you guys have questions as well, just throw it in the chat box. And then I will give them to him as well. Where's my book over here? So, let's see. Welcome, Reflector. And thanks to everybody for all the new followers. I think we've got 2 new followers. Welcome, Alex. Welcome to the show. And I think Mr. Arnold as well. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. And Reflector says, looking forward to the show. Okay, cool. All right. So, Henry, I've got a couple of basic questions here. Welcome, Dolph, as well. So, I guess let's start off with when did you learn this game of chess? At what age?
I was actually pretty lucky, I think, because I was sort of born into a chess playing family. I mean, my dad was also a pretty strong player back in his day.
Yes.
Actually, I managed to pick up by myself how the pieces move by just watching my dad play against his friends.
Oh, nice.
And I was about 4 years old when I first started playing.
Okay, 4 years old. And when do you think? I remember watching this documentary. There's so many documentaries on Bobby Fischer, but I remember the specific guy. This video. This guy was asking Bobby, "Okay, when did you learn the game, and when did you become serious?" So you learned the game at 4. When do you think you became serious about this game?
Okay. Well, I played my first tournament when I was 5.
Wow.
It was back. It was like one of those primary school tournaments where, I was playing against kids who were under 13. It didn't go. I'm not sure why exactly I played. I can't remember if I wanted to or if my dad wanted me to.
Yeah.
It might have been the second one. And I remember I lost all my games, and I was crying after every game that I lost. But then my second tournament I played, I managed to score I think 6 out of 7. So already it was like a big improvement. I think I was pretty serious about it from the start. I think I hated losing right from the start, and I wanted to win.
Okay.
So, I think from a pretty young age, I think I was taking it quite seriously already.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. So do you think that first experience just catapulted you, that rough experience against the older kids?
Yeah. I don't know. At least it didn't discourage me.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I think that's something that everybody can learn from. If you get these rough experiences, you should get back up. So okay, cool. So 5 years old. Wow, I was still playing in the sand that time, Henry. So that's
Yeah,
quite cool.
I was also playing in the sand as well.
Okay, cool. So let's see. Now my next question is, so you grew up and you became quite strong and you excelled. So my question is, this is a question I've asked many players already on the show. What do you think made you excel and separate yourself from your peers? What do you think? What did you do? Was it studying? Was it talent? What do you think made you just separate yourself from the rest of your peers?
Okay. Well, yeah, like I said before, I think I was pretty fortunate in like I grew up with my dad being a strong player, and my dad also he had so many chess books. So I mean, I had access to like I used to sort of like read chess books, like storybooks, like before I go to sleep at night.
Oh, cool.
My dad also had like a lot of those British chess magazines, which some older people might know. And
Yeah.
I used to just like page through them and read through them and read about the players and just like sort of look at the diagrams. So I think that obviously just like growing up in sort of that environment obviously gives you an edge. And then something like my dad also he used to push me quite a bit when I was young.
Okay.
And I think when you're younger, it's interesting having your dad sort of as a coach, right? Or having like it's always tough with the family because there were definitely times when I resented my dad quite a lot.
Okay.
Like I remember, like I mean, I was being like 6 or 7 years old, and then I know he would expect me to have like looked at chess during the day. So just before he comes home from work, I would quickly like put up a position on a chessboard and open a book. So
all right.
Definitely. But I mean, looking back, definitely. I mean, I don't think in South Africa like we don't have a strong chess culture.
Yes.
So I don't think you have to do a lot. Like if you do like 1 hour a day, for example,
you already be ahead of the pack.
Yeah, definitely. Like so even doing a little bit sort of like puts you, I think, quite far ahead in South Africa at least.
Okay.
And then like once you're sort of at the top, obviously you get more exposure to stronger players and you get the opportunity to play more events. Also, something, I mean, back when I was a junior, like things were quite different.
Yeah.
I mean, junior chess, I think, for one thing, was a lot stronger. And I think, I mean, like examples I can give, for example, Western Province juniors.
Yeah. Yes.
There was no separation for age group. So as an under 12, I didn't play against other under 12s, right? There was a candidate section, like a open section, and a like premier section, a championship section.
Okay.
And if you manage to do well enough in each section, you get promoted to the next section.
That sounds cool.
Playing, under 12. I mean, I was playing with like Stuart Brody, Donovan, like Gavin Anderson, like those guys as an under 12, right? I mean,
that sounds great. Yeah, like great exposure.
2000 rated. I mean, yeah, it's not the thing where you get limited because of your age or something. So that was different. The first SA Junior Closed I played as well. It was not age group. It was if you were under 12, you played. There was one section, so you played against like everybody. I remember Kenny Willenberg won that tournament. Yeah, and I was really amazed at actually how he played. He was like one of my idols back then. Like watching him, like how he played and how he won that tournament. Yeah.
Okay, no,
something special.
Thanks, Henry. I think that's something that we need to look into actually with the juniors nowadays, because we all get caged into these age groups and so on. And I do remember the SA Junior Closed being, I think, 2 sections where it's I think a under 14 section and then under 16 and up, something like that.
Before that, there was just one section, yeah.
One section. So
before that, yeah.
So I mean, I think the kids do need this exposure, and maybe it's something we need to look into. And like you said, also for the viewers out there, your chess culture, just get into the routine of doing a bit of chess on a daily basis. That definitely does help. So yeah,
one
thanks.
thing I should also
sure.
One thing I should also just add. I mean, I had a good rival as well, pushing me as a junior.
Okay.
Obviously, people should know the name, right? But
yes,
Heinrich Stander, obviously.
Of course, we know Heinrich as well.
Yeah, I think his presence obviously pushed me quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I think some good rivalry is also very healthy. Okay.
I mean, he played the junior closed. He played the senior closed in 2005, right? So he was like 15, 16. So, I mean, obviously a very, very strong player as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember Heinrich. So to the viewers out there, let's just see what's happening in the chat box. Don't have many questions here for Henry, but we also do not want to get stuck with just interrogating the man. We want to get to the chessboard. So, sorry. Let's check out what we have in the chat box. Maybe I'll ask 1 or 2 questions from the chat box, and then I'll get back to my own questions, Henry. Let's see.
Sure.
Adolf says, my question is, okay, so this is an interesting one. Maybe I was going to get to this later, not in these specific words. So Henry Adolf says, my question is, why did Mr. Steel become inactive while he was the best and highest rated player in SA? So, Henry, what is your response to that one?
Okay, I hope that's not an accusation. I'm not sure if I was ever the highest rated player. I think there was always at some point somebody higher than me, either Kenny back when I retired or Daniel more recently.
No, I don't know. I'm sure at some point, you were at the top. You were at the top at some point.
I think I've been one of the top players for a while. I think it's a combination of things. Like one is that once you reach a certain level in South Africa, there's just not that much to motivate you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what are you playing for?
Yeah.
Like it's really like, I mean, I can admire Watu. Like Watu is amazing. Like he keeps on like playing these weekend tournaments and keeps playing, and that's something that I have a lot of admiration for. I'm not sure if I have the same motivation. Like, yeah, I mean, you get to the top. Like, I mean, if you look at all of South Africa's top players, they sort of like hit almost like a peak at like 15, 16, where they're like 2200, 2300.
Yeah.
And then like 10, 15 years later, they're still at the same level.
Yeah.
So playing South Africa is just not something that's that appealing to me. But at the same time, I do regret also not playing. I feel like I sort of have a duty at some point to try and give something back to the community in a sense. Either rating points or some games at least somewhere. And another thing was that at that point in my life, actually, like I met my wife and we got married and we sort of like started a family. So my life was also moving in a different direction.
Of course.
And yeah, like for me, like when I play, I like to take it seriously, and I like to sort of be in good shape and. Yeah, I mean, just be able to prepare, and I don't want to just sort of like play randomly, almost.
Yeah.
Just pitch for a tournament and play.
I get you.
And just the way that my life was going with like sort of working full time and having a family and other responsibilities, it was I couldn't spend that much time on chess anymore. I mean, I still look at chess every day. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same as sort of like actively playing. And I just don't feel I have the time.
Okay.
And really the motivation anymore to do that. Maybe sometime in the future. I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Henry, for that. I hope that answers some questions there, Adolf. Okay, so Laparot says, good morning. Bet Whisperer says, how would you describe your playing style, Henry?
Okay. I don't know, maybe that's something that other people would.
Yeah, I know it's a difficult question, but
I think I'm pretty. I think most people would think I'm a pretty boring player, actually.
No, I think you're gonna take that away from me, Henry. That's my title.
Yeah, I think I'll describe myself as a solid player. I'm not like Wati, definitely, or like Daniel. I think Daniel is like, for example, Daniel is amazingly strong in dynamic positions and very strong at tactics and like, sacrificing and attacking. And I think I'm probably the opposite of that. I'm a lot better in static positions, sort of like evaluating positions, technical positions. I think like technically I'm one of the best players in the country for sure. Like if you give me a position with a small advantage, I'll definitely have a good chance of actually just like winning the game. But at the same time, I'm not that strong in dynamic positions, like positions where things are crazy and you have to calculate a lot. That's where I'm not that strong, and I tend to sort of like I'll sometimes play weaker moves to try and get to a position that I want. Instead of like going for the complications.
Okay, interesting. So maybe we should keep that in mind when we look at your games. But I mean, I think you're also comparing yourself maybe to Watu and Kodari when it comes to this. But I mean, tactically and so on, dynamically compared to the rest of the country, I think you're pretty pretty strong anyway in that field. But I guess you have to kind of isolate what you're best at. So yeah, thanks for that description, Henry. Just talking about chaos and dynamic play, just something pops up. I remember this. This now a random thought. This game that you played against Watu, was it the finals or the semi-finals? I'm not sure. In this invitational that you played, and you like sacked your queen somewhere, and I think Yaku Nelson was also saying afterwards that that was his favorite combination or something. So there's still guys, there's still dynamics and tactics in Henry's play. He's just a bit humble.
Everything's relative, right? Like, but yeah, I mean, compared to Watu and Daniel, I don't see myself as that comfortable or that strong in complicated positions. Which is why also always when I play Watu, I sort of feel like I want to play those kinds of positions because I want to try and play Watu like in his comfort zone. If I can beat Watu there, then I feel like it's really like something. If I can sort of out complicate Watu.
Oh,
so far I haven't had any luck.
Oh, okay. So wait. So you're saying you like to complicate against Watu just to try to beat him in his field? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I want. Of course, yeah. When I play against Watu,
interesting. To me, Henry, it feels like every time I just throw sand on the fire and Watu is just throwing more oil and I throw sand.
Yeah. No, the last time I did that, I lost. Yeah, no. So it didn't work out. But I want to. That's sort of my goal when I play Watu.
So you need to embrace the chaos.
It hasn't worked out. No.
Okay, cool. Right. So let's see. So that was Bet Whisperer. Leserick says, morning, Calvin and everybody. Bet Whisperer says, which books had a big impact on you, Henry?
Okay, sure. Well, like I said, growing up, I read through a lot of books and I paged through a lot of books. But there's only been 2 books that I've worked, actually sat down at the chessboard and worked through them from start to finish.
Yeah.
And the one was the 1953 book on the interzonal tournament.
Okay, cool.
Tournament by David Bronstein.
Yeah, that's a famous one.
That's very good. And the other one was a collection of Rubinstein's games that I got from Kenny Solomon.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, cool. So Rubinstein and then 1953 interzonal. Two good books. I remember talking to Kenny a while back. I think you were with as well, and Kenny mentioned Rubinstein as well, being someone that a lot of people miss out on. So
Kenny, obviously, he had a big impact on my chess style. So I guess it's no surprise.
Yeah, definitely. Right. So actually, I want to get to my questions, but I think let's just keep everybody happy in the chat. So, okay, last question here from Bet Whisperer. Is Puzzle Rush a valid training tool, Henry?
No, it's not.
Is it good for anything?
For wasting time. No, I mean, I don't want to. I sort of feel like Puzzle Rush is. It can give you an indication maybe of sort of how quick you are, and how easily you can spot tactics. But I wouldn't say it's a good training method. I wouldn't use that as a method to try and improve at tactics.
Okay.
Right. Or at calculation. I'd rather say it's something you can use to measure progress.
Yes.
Let's say you decide you're going to work on tactics for a month, or for 6 months or a year or whatever, and then you can check your score at the beginning of the training and at the end of the training and see if you've
nice.
If you've made any progress. But I wouldn't say doing Puzzle Rush for an hour every day for a year is going to make you a better, make you improve in anything, except maybe.
Okay, thanks. That's maybe an eye-opener for a lot of us, Henry. Thanks for that one. And Adolf is saying here, I'm going to start doing that hour a day with a sweaty face. So yeah, Adolf, you must put in the work. Adolf is also asking here, does playing some blitz and bullet count as training? ?
I don't know. Things are changing. A few years ago, I would definitely have said no. And that's the direction that I'm leaning to.
Yeah.
Leaning towards. I think blitz. I don't think bullet can be training. I think blitz can be training, but I think you'd have to really do it in a very specific way. And I think there are a lot better ways to train than to play blitz. I think it's too easy to waste time playing blitz, where you just want to play until you win a game, or you just want to keep playing like one more game, and you're moving pieces, and you win some games, you lose some games, but nothing is really. You're not really learning anything, and you don't take the time to sort of look at mistakes that you're making or try and learn anything. It's just you play games and you look at the clock and an hour has gone by, and
what have you really achieved?
Again, like I would say you can do training, and then you can play blitz games too. Maybe your rating is 2000, you get a coach and you work for like 6 months or a year, and afterwards your rating goes up to 2100 or 200 or something. But I wouldn't say again playing blitz for 1 year is necessarily going to I think there are people who can improve from that, and I think it can be used, but you have to be very careful. I think for most people it won't work.
Yeah, no,
there are some examples that come to mind, but they're very few.
No, I agree with you on that one, Henry. I do feel like you can use it, but very, very specific. I remember Watu told me one time, I think it was a long time ago at the Waterkloof Open many years ago. He was still staying that side, and he said, "Oh well, Calvin, if you would," and you know what? I was actually also not a player, a guy that plays online. But I was talking to him about this, and he was saying, "You know what, Calvin? If you do play online, just make sure that you limit yourself. Make sure you play 5 games, maximum 10. Just play 5 and go check those games. Check your openings or whatever, and so on. And then you're actually being constructive with your work. But like you said, if you just play and play and play, then it's all going down."
But it's definitely an interesting question, because especially for South Africa, it's a very interesting and relevant question, right? Because obviously the internet is sort of like a way that we can potentially use to level the playing field. I mean, sort of historically, our biggest problem with producing strong players has been sort of we don't have access to Europe, right? Or strong, like we don't have access to strong opposition on a regular basis. Maybe you play the Olympiad every 2 years, or maybe you play one international tournament a year. And the internet obviously is a tool that you can use to fix that. I mean, you can look at guys like the youngsters coming up these days, like Keith Kumalo and Banele. I mean, they're sort of like the sort of the hope of the country, right? And they're in this situation as well now, where they've reached like sort of like what I would call a South African peak, right? They're going to be like 2200, 2300 pretty soon.
Yeah.
And the question is like, and they're playing. I mean, I can see the guys are playing like hundreds of games every day. They're playing a lot more online than I did.
Yeah.
For sure. And the question is, are they going to be able to use this as a way to sort of get that exposure that they need, or are they sort of just like wasting their time?
Yeah.
And it's definitely something that they have to think about as well, and that I hope they're thinking about, because I mean, they can get good games against strong opposition. I mean, they can play the level that they're playing at. They regularly face strong opposition, and the hope is that they can somehow use those experiences and learn from them and improve. But it's definitely not as easy as playing classical chess against and analyzing with stronger players. So it's a very valid question, and an important one.
Okay, thanks, Henry. And just something interesting, actually. Coincidentally, I had a show. When was it? Last night, I think. And I had a new follower, a young boy from India. He said he was 13 years old, and he wanted to play me. And he said, let's create a symbol. And I was like, okay, we can do the symbol. But by the way, I do have a challenge day on Sundays where you can challenge me on a blitz game. And he was like, no, wait, sorry, I can't play blitz against you. My coach won't allow me to. So his coach is actually telling him, no, he's not allowed to play blitz games and bullets. He's supposed to play rapids and classical games. So
it's interesting as well, because obviously India have a lot of very, very strong speedsters.
Yeah.
I mean, also it's a very interesting question. I don't know. I mean, I read an interview with Jan Gustafsson recently where he said, it's not that important what you do. Like you can almost do, like his view was almost like different people can do different things, and it'll help them. Like if you want to play like 50 blitz games a day, that's how you want to study chess, and you can do that, and it could work for you. That's was sort of his view. But I think, I don't know, my own view is that you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah,
it's difficult to make that work.
But
again, maybe things are changing.
Yeah. No, but it's a very interesting topic. Like, I don't want to go too deeply into it now, but like just the last note on that, like it's just like you said, like different things do different things to people, and I mean that's I think one of the main difficulties about chess. There's no straightforward syllabus where if you go through this, that, and that, then you qualify to be this and this, this and that. It depends on how you are as a player, what makes you tick, and how do you grow, and so on.
And I think, I mean, I think the one thing that people don't get off always is you need, or what I think is the most important thing is like exposure to stronger opposition. Consistently. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, let's just try to cover some more questions over here, and then we need to get to the chessboard. So let's see. Okay, Reflector has a question. Reflector is asking here, did the Western Province League contribute to your development? What did the Western Province League do for you, Henry? So the question is, what can you do for Western Province League? What can Western Province League do for you?
Yeah. Again, no, definitely. Western Province League definitely contributed to my development. I mean, how would it not? All right. I mean, the Western Province League is special. I mean, at least in my heart, it holds a special place. Even though I haven't played as much as I wanted to. But yeah, as a youngster growing up, you know, they used to call me. My nickname was the Stalker, because I used to like watch out for the top players and see like what tournaments are they going to play. How can I sort of like manage to get a game against somebody stronger?
Yeah.
You know, I used to ask them, "Are you playing this tournament? Are you going to play this tournament?" You know, just so that I could know, you know, I can go there and then I can get a game against them. And the Western Province League, obviously, you had the board one like field was very strong. I mean, Kenny was playing for Mitchell's playing on board one. You know, Steinitz always had a very strong player like on board one. It could be Dion Solomons, could be Lyndon Boa.
Yeah.
You know, it could be. I mean, so I mean that definitely it gave me a chance to play against a lot of strong players. I mean, I remember Kenny Solomon once scored 11 out of 11 on board one.
Whoa! I never heard of that. Wow, that's amazing.
I think you might ask. You can ask Lyndon. I think he scored it either 10.5 or 11.
That's fantastic.
It was 11.
Wow,
that was like an amazing performance.
Yeah.
So I mean, I played against Kenny a few times there, and I played against some strong players. You know, I think on board one you wouldn't have had an opponent lower than like 18 or 1900.
Yeah.
So, and then definitely it contributed towards me. It holds a special place in my heart still. Like thinking back as a child, you know, because it used to be like on Thursday nights. You start like at 7 and you play until like 10:30 or 11, and you come back at midnight. And you know, as like a kid growing up, it's sort of like a special like night out. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So okay, thanks, Henry. And now I've got 2 quick questions here. One is coming from Lezerik. Lezerik is saying, Henry, are you pursuing to become a GM? And then the other one from Alex is saying, which strong player did you want to become like when you were a kid?
Okay. Well, the first question is easy. No, I'm not trying to become a Grandmaster anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see the point. Like, I don't think it's too hard actually to become a Grandmaster. I could become like a 2500 or like a 2501 Grandmaster. But what would be the point of being like one of the weakest Grandmasters in the world? Like, no, I don't see the point in that. The title itself doesn't mean that much to me.
Like you said, your life trajectory is not on the way to that side, so it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I wanted to do that, then I would aim for like at least 2650 or something like that. I mean, I would set my stats a lot higher. And again, I think that has been achievable, and that is achievable for a lot of South African players. I just think the opportunities haven't always been there for many of them.
Okay, cool.
The second question.
So which strong player did you want to become like when you were a kid? That's from Alex.
That's a good question.
It could be local. It could be international.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Definitely, like as a kid, like I had a lot of people who I like admired a lot growing up, and who contributed a lot like to my development. Sort of just like off the top of my head, like Craig and Kenny Wonnenberg. You know,
okay.
They were big heroes of mine. Like they were just a few years older than me, but they were like dominating junior chess. You know, watching them grow up and being able to play against them, like was one of the highlights of my junior career, definitely.
Okay, cool.
You know, Donovan van den Heever, Like I used to play on ICC with him like a lot. I actually, like a story that many people won't know is like when I was 6 years old and Donovan was like, I'm not sure how much older he is than me, but let's say like 8 years maybe.
Yeah.
Like maybe, so he would have been 14. He was in Concordia still in the Northern Cape, and we used to play correspondence games against each other actually.
Oh, okay.
I remember he beat me on the white side of a King's Indian when I was 6 years old.
Okay. So you knew him from quite a young age.
Yeah, I knew him from quite a young age.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so Donovan, and then like growing up, I played a lot with him and analyzed a lot with him. And Kenny Solomon, I used to go stay at his house, and Wati. And I mean, at some point, I've always tried to emulate all of them and learn from them. And yeah, I mean, internationally, like growing up, definitely Kasparov was an idol, right? He was world champion and he was dominating, like when I was a kid. So maybe him. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Guys, we're gonna try to wrap up the questions now. So forgive me if I don't get to all the questions, unless Henry, you say you've got time. But I think people want to get to the chessboard. Let's see, where are we now? Okay, that was my last question. So Wimdolf is here. Wimdolf says, how do you think chess in SA can create incentive for top players to play, given top chess guys can likely move into fairly lucrative careers outside of chess? So how can we keep our top players into chess and give them incentives?
Oh, people are that's not an easy question, is it, Carl?
Yeah, no, that sounds like an administrative question. Typical Dolph.
No, I don't know. It's not easy, and I mean, I think chess in South Africa has they have bigger problems to sort out than that at the moment.
I don't know, Henry, maybe from a player's perspective, wouldn't you? Okay, I know what would, maybe I should talk for myself. I was going to say maybe Watu or even myself. I would just say maybe more money, but I mean, it's difficult. Where does the money come from? So that would definitely give more incentive to the players I mean, if you make the SA Open 20K or even 30K and your average Joe tournaments here, a lot more, then you're going to get a lot more guys working harder and so on. Or even create a Grand Prix or something like that, where you can win a grand prize at the end of the circuit or something like that. But it's more difficult than said. So yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, I mean, putting more money into it that'll definitely help.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can give an example. Like there's a tournament I play every year that it's held, and that's Lorenzo van Niekerk's tournament in Western Cape. Because there's good prize money and there's good opposition and it's well organized. You know, so if you hold good events, then good players will come.
Yes.
And if you know sort of good players will be there, then that's more of an incentive. Like if I know if you tell me there's going to be a tournament, you know, with Watu is playing, Kenny's playing, Calvin's playing, Mabusela is playing, Daniel Cordery is playing, you know, then okay, I'm going to say, wow, that's interesting. You know?
Yeah.
I would also like to play that. I mean, definitely, like, but if it's a weekend tournament, you know, I know Watu's going to be there. I'm going to get one game against him, and you spend 2 whole days of your weekend
just fighting or fending off your rating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even care about rating anymore.
but yeah, I get you.
I mean, and the thing is, the games are, you like work yourself up, and then you get to the thing, and then the games are disappointing. You know, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me. Like I don't get any pleasure in sort of winning meaningless games. Like I want to play, I want to fight, and I want to get pushed. And if I don't get that, then. But again, I mean, that's maybe off topic.
I think it does link slightly to it, I think. So yeah, thanks for that. Brapela is in the chat. Welcome, Mabu. He's saying good morning, guys. I'm sure Mo will show his game against Luke. We're gonna have to you're gonna have to stick around and see if that's the case.
Shout out to Johannes though.
Yeah, welcome, Johannes.
Favorite players.
And by the way, guys, Henry was talking about the tournament that Lorenzo usually organizes. We are actually going to play next weekend, Saturday. So next week, Saturday, we're going to play in this Paradigm Chess 30 new variant tournament. Henry is going to play. I'm going to play. Watu's going to play. The confirmed list I showed last night already. It's on Facebook as well. It's Henry, Watu, myself, Parrish, Kluckman, Craig and Kenny, and Maxwell. Apologies if I'm missing someone. Who am I? Am I missing anybody? I think it's 8 players. So it's gonna be a strong tournament, and it's quite nice prize money up for grabs. And it's a new variant that we're gonna reveal. I spoke about it last night as well. So yeah. Anyway, okay, we need to get to the end of this one now. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna take 2 more questions, Henry, and then that's that for now. We need to get to the chessboard. So we have a question here from Laparot. Laparot says, Henry, if you don't have enough time, would you focus on the opening, middle game, or end game? Intermediate to advanced level, that is. So what would you focus on if you don't have all the time in the world?
Yeah, I wish I had more time. I think it depends on what your goals are. I think if you short term you want to see results, then probably the opening is the place where you're going to get it. Sharpening up your openings and learning some theory is probably going to have on a short term basis. It's going to have the most effect. I think if you're thinking more long term, like if you want to improve as a player, then I would go to end games. Middle games are tricky to study. But the book that I mentioned before, the one, the 1953 Zurich book, is pretty good in that regard.
Okay,
because
cool.
It focuses not on variations, but it's a lot of text, like verbal commentary, and looking at evaluations and sort of what to do in certain positions. So that helps. But yeah, I think if you want to improve long term, end games is a pretty good bet. I think short term, if you want to see results immediately, then openings would be a better bet.
Okay, cool. I think that's good advice there for the viewers. So yeah, okay, we're getting close now. I don't think there's any more questions. I just want to read some interesting statements here. King Ulster, welcome, King Ulster, regular on the show. Morning, Calvin, and welcome, Henry. Probably, okay, let's see. And then there's a guy here with a cell phone number. I know who this is, and he actually mentioned his name here in the chat, Henry. He says, okay, this is a cell phone number, 0677903161. When he registered, he told me the other day he registered and he by accident used his cell phone number for his name. He doesn't know how to fix it. So he says, hi, good day all, Calvin and Mohammed, from Michael James. James is in the house. Welcome, Michael.
Okay. I'm glad he's watching.
Yeah, and Bet Whisperer asked, please tell me what tournament is this? That tournament that we mentioned, the variant, the Paradigm Chess 30. Yeah, that's what it's called, and it's next weekend. I think we are going to stream that event. So yeah, just keep your eyes and ears open, guys. Okay, so that's it for the questions. Yeah, so I think we can go over to the chessboard, Henry. Let me just go over to the other side. I think I must just adjust my background here as well, but let's see if we can get over there. Okay, we are there. Let me just do something here for myself. I want to take this. Where am I now? Just give me 1 second. So I took myself away. Just want to get my background sorted. Okay, so I now just need to get myself back up. Here we go. I'm back. And now I can just recrop myself back in properly here. So guys, you can see the game info at the bottom. Henry, can you just tell everybody what are we going to look at today?
Okay, so it's my game against Adli from it's the All African Games in Mozambique in 2011.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's a special game to me for a few reasons. Yeah.
Would you be so kind to share with us why, or is it personal reasons?
No, not personal. It was also, so there were 2 tournaments in Mozambique in 2011 that year.
Yeah.
So the first one was the All African Individuals, which I played, which I finished 3rd in.
Fantastic.
And that's actually where the first time that I saw my wife. And then 3 months after that, it was the team event. And that's where I sort of like, I could say, like, met my wife, and we started talking, and we hit it off. It's a special event.
Yeah, no, this makes complete sense.
Also, there's some beef sort of between Algeria, which is where my wife's from, and Egypt, which is where Adli's from.
Okay.
So there was sort of like a personal incentive to do well in this game as well.
Okay.
Try and score some points on.
Score some points for the lady, yes.
Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. And guys, if you don't know Adli, Adli is one of the strongest guys on the continent. I think he's rated number 2 currently. He's been number 2 for Africa for a long time. As you can see, the rating at that point, obviously Henry's rating is not that, and I think Adli's rating also changed. But at that point, Henry, my database says your rating was 2362, and Adli was 2605. So Adli is also not an ordinary GM. He's already 100. At that point, he was already 100 rating points above an average GM. So definitely not an easy customer to play against.
Yeah, but that was actually also I could maybe mention this. So I was like in 2009, I started studying, and I was pretty out of chess.
Yeah,
I wasn't really playing that much anymore. And then I didn't play the SA closed, for example, and then I don't know, I was very lucky, I was very fortunate to they asked me to play in the 2010 Olympiad, which I'm not sure if they were breaking rules or something, or made an exception for me. Then I played the 2010 Olympiad, and then again I didn't play anything sort of before or after that.
Yeah.
And then they asked me to play the African individuals, which again I don't think I was strictly speaking supposed to have played.
Okay, but I think you're probably in the top 3 rated in the country either way. So
yeah, sure. No, I was strong enough, but I was in terms of activity criteria and
I get you.
Thing. And then I met my wife at that tournament. So it's sort of sometimes I think my whole chess career was sort of just leading me up to the point to
Brilliant.
meet my wife.
Brilliant. That's what chess does for you.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely sort of, and in that time as well, I think I made a lot of progress, even though I wasn't playing. I think sort of hard work I was doing, I did as a junior, sort of started showing at that time in my life. In 2008, I took a gap year just to play chess, to focus on chess.
Okay.
And obviously, I did a lot of work in that year, and I played some tournaments. And then in 2009, I didn't really play. But then, 2010, 2011, I think actually the work that I did back then started showing benefits, because I definitely was a stronger player after that gap of not playing.
Okay. Cool.
I think I jumped in a few tournaments. I went from 22 something to
24. Yeah. I definitely noticed that. What I can actually say, Henry, is I was also in around Cape Town that time, and I remember playing in my, I don't know, when was your first SA closed, senior closed, because we played round 1. So that was my first SA close. I think 2007. That was mine.
Yeah, that was also mine.
Yeah, and you actually managed to beat me in round 1. That wasn't a nice taste for me, but in any event, I was happy that you won the tournament eventually. But what I wanted to say is that, I was also up and coming slightly over there, but when I saw you explode on the scene from 22 to 24, that actually, because like you said, most of us, we get to a certain point in SA 22 or 21, 22 and 23, and then you kind of stagnate, and when you exploded onto the scene and you even started beating guys like Adli, it actually made us all start to believe that, okay, maybe us as South Africans can actually do more than just get to 22.
Definitely.
So
we definitely can.
That was an exciting time, actually, to see you explode like that onto the scene.
Yeah, I think if I if I kept playing, there's no reason that I wouldn't have gone on to 2-5 or more. And I think the same thing for many players in South Africa. I think if they had the opportunity to play at the right time, look at Daniel Corey, for example, 2300 at 15, right? The guy was a monster at 15, 16.
Yeah.
And then he got his rating was 2200 when he was 30. Right? So and now then he went to play in Europe for a few months and he went to 2450.
Yeah.
So it's such a waste.
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, you see the same thing with so many players. So yeah, I mean, I think those years were I done a lot of work previously, and actually I got the chance to play a few tournaments sort of like in a row, and yeah, I think that helped me sort of to produce good results. And yeah, I don't know, I felt confident playing, which is nice.
Fantastic.
Like in this tournament, I come back from the World Cup where I lost to Ivanchuk 2-0.
Yeah.
And I remember I played against Stanley Chumfwa from
Yes.
Zambia in the first round, coming back.
Yeah.
And he's a strong player. I mean,
Yes.
he's a national master. He's 2350.
Definitely.
And I remember playing against him, and it felt like such an easy game. It was like, you know, I was playing white, and I'm playing, and you know, he's thinking so long over like obvious moves, and you know, it just felt like, you know, I won that game so easily. It's just like that whole tournament, I could just play quickly and confidently, and it felt like nobody could touch me.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant. Just
that was a nice, yeah, that was a nice feeling. Just
wow, that's fantastic. I remember asking you as well. Okay, we're gonna get to the game now, but I remember asking you as well when you came back from that match against Chucky. I asked you what's the difference, and this I don't know if you have something else to say, but I remember you telling me that. Look, you can play strong players, and they can find relatively good ideas or strong ideas. But the thing with Vasily Ivanchuk, he just found really good plans very quickly. Like he didn't need to think so long on good ideas, so to speak. So he puts you under pressure.
I don't know, Calvin. Obviously, you can relate. Like, I mean, when you, let's say, like on our level, right, in South Africa, when you play against somebody, you can feel if they put you under pressure or not, right? You can feel there's like I mean, you can definitely, when you play against somebody, you can feel like, okay, this guy put me under pressure in this game.
Yeah.
Or, you know, this game I just won by sort of doing what I know. Like, you know, I know I'm supposed to do this and this and this, and he didn't do anything, so I just won the game, right? So, I mean, Ivanchuk, and I think like the sort of like very like elite in the world, they play good moves. Obviously, they play very good moves, but they do it sort of like easily. You know, they don't have to struggle for it. Like if I play against Watu or somebody, or Kenny Solomon, you know, they're gonna play, maybe they can play the same quality of moves every now and then, but it's gonna take them like 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. You know,
and at the end of the day, they might be under time pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you don't feel, it's not the same thing as where that the whole time, you know, you're being forced to sit at the board and sweat the whole time.
Exactly.
Your opponent is sort of like, you know, it doesn't look like anything's like bothering him. You know, he's just like.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah.
But I mean, that's what you need, I think, to improve. You know, is to play against those guys. The first games you play against them, obviously you get crushed, and I mean, you're not able to cope with that pressure that they put on you. But eventually, maybe, you know, you also start playing faster.
It opens up your eyes.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I played well against Ivanchuk. I don't think I played badly.
Yeah.
I mean, I was happy with the way I played. It's just, yeah, I couldn't really pose problems to him, like serious problems.
Okay.
And then when I came back, you know, coming back to play against people who take a lot of time to play moves that I didn't think were that good, it just feels like, you know, you feel so, it's such a different feeling, you know. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm not like a gym guy or anything, but like, you know, doing weight training where you train with like a certain weight, and then suddenly you pick up like a weight that used to be heavy, but now it's like, compared to what you were doing before, it feels so easy.
No, I think that's quite a nice way of looking at it, because I mean, if people in the gym, if you never test out that heaviest weight or that heavier weight, then you don't force yourself, you're never gonna get more strength. So it's a good way of looking at it. So I think we should start with the game, Henry. Just two comments in the chat box. Roland, that's of course Roland Wittenberg. Welcome, Roland. He says, hi, Mohamed Henry Steel and Calvin. And scariest name. Okay, Adolf says, how did the huge difference in rating between you and Adli affect your psychology? That's Adolf over there. Was there any effect on looking at the ratings at that point, Henry?
No, well, like I just said, I came back from playing against Ivanchuk. And
so you were good. You were good on that.
2750.
Yeah.
So, you know, the rating didn't bother me too much.
Okay,
also,
cool.
It was my third game against Adli.
Aha.
So, yeah.
So, yeah. And
I lost the first two, but okay.
I remember that second one, I think, against Adli you had was a crazy game. Was crazy.
I wanted to show it actually quickly, but I'm not sure if we have time. I don't know how you
Look,
are with time.
I've got all the time in the world, Henry. So if you want to, you can do whatever you want to. So if you want to do that, you can load the second game, or you can do the first game. Doesn't matter with me. Let me just read one last comment here. Scariest name. Do you know who's scariest name, Henry?
It's Vero, right?
Yeah, it's Vero. Yeah, Vero says, "What up?" with 2 question marks. So he says, "How many strong players need to be in a tournament for you to find it challenging, Henry? What rating would you consider strong?" This man wants straight answers, Henry.
It's very specific. It has to be more than 2,237. That's my cutoff. No, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't even have to be rating, right? Like, I want to play like for now. Like, let's say you could take like Keith and Banele. I mean, then the ratings maybe are not that high, but they're probably underrated at the moment, right? So
yeah.
I mean, it would be fun to play against them to see, just like how they play and to analyze with them to see how they think and to see sort of like how excited I should be about their future. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's no set like rating or no set criteria. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard to.
Yeah.
Some people don't play a lot. They have lower ratings, but they play well. Some people maybe are overrated. I mean, rating, I'm not that worried about it, to be honest.
I get you. And then, so maybe we're gonna look forward to a scariest name invitational. Seems like Vera wants to switch over to organizing. It seems he's trying to. And then Pet Whisperer, final question here in the chat box, and then we're up to date. Pet Whisperer is asking here: is there any way SA can produce a Pragnananta or a Sarin, and how? These guys are asking you tough questions.
I feel like people are asking me to fix like South African chess's problems.
Henry, we believe in you.
In a few minutes on your show.
So yeah, it's a tough question. Yeah.
It's. I'll say this. I don't think South Africa does not have the talent to produce somebody like that. That is what I'm sure about. Whether we can produce something like that, like whether we have the right sort of like tools at the moment to produce something like that, I don't know. But I definitely feel like there have been players in the past who have been as capable as them, and there will be players in the future who are as capable as them. Whether we can sort of, at the moment, give them the right environment that they need to grow and to flourish, I'm not sure about that. Kenny Solomon, he's always he likes his raps, and he's always very poetic.
Yeah.
He always told me, we're grass growing in concrete, so
yes.
We're fighting, just to get through those cracks, to get to the sunshine. And I think that's the biggest problem that we have. It's not the talent necessarily. I think we have the talent. I think it's not that easy to identify it maybe always. And I think also one problem that we do have in chess is people are too focused on following rules. Like, once a player has been identified as exceptional, I don't think the administration really cares about doing anything to help them. I think they're more worried about making sure he plays in the section that he's supposed to, or she plays in the section that she's supposed to, and that they don't make any exceptions for a player, because then like parent B can say something about parent A, and then there's a whole like fight about that. So I think that needs to be sorted out as well.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Henry. I've thoroughly enjoyed this first part of the show thus far, but we need to get onto the business end. This is why people tune in. It's for the chess lovers. So where do you want to start? You can start just wherever you want. You can show us the previous game briefly if you want to, or you can just tell us about it, or wherever you want to start.
I'll quickly run through it.
Okay, so this is the previous game you played.
Yeah, so this is the game we played 3 months prior to the game that I'm going to show.
Okay, cool.
We played this and this is sort of like this. The reason I want to show this is because it's very characteristic of the way Adli treats lower rated players.
And you've got the white pieces here, right?
Yeah, so I'm playing white.
Yeah.
I think beating Adli with black is a lot harder than beating him with white. I think with white you've actually got good chances.
Okay, so pawn to b5. So it looks like a perk is playing here.
Yeah.
But definitely not your average perk is playing. He's pushing the boundaries here.
No, Adley doesn't push the boundaries. He like flies over them. He doesn't care about the boundaries at all. So Adley's view is basically like, you're a lot weaker than I am. I'm going to just create some crazy position on the board, and you won't be able to figure it out, and I'll beat you because I can calculate a lot better than you.
All right.
Like 99% of the times, he's right. So he's amazing at calculation and at tactics and at crazy positions.
Yeah.
And he doesn't mind taking risks to get the positions that he wants.
Yeah, I've seen some nice games from him. Yeah, he enjoys the chaos.
Yeah. With white, he doesn't play the same with white at all, which is interesting.
He plays a bit more solid openings, eh? D4, C4, G3 stuff.
Yeah, no. But with black, like the thing that I like about him, like he's not like, you get those grandmasters with black, they're happy to just keep it solid and make their draws. But he's looking for the points. He's
exciting.
Black or white, it doesn't matter.
Exciting.
He wants to get those points. So that's one, like definitely with white, if you're lower rated than him, he'll want to beat you, and you're gonna get your chance because he's gonna play in a way to sort of try and get that point.
Okay.
So yeah, prior to this round as well, I'd seen him, like he played against Kenny, like either the round before this one or maybe 2 rounds, and Kenny was completely winning, but Adley was like an hour and a half ahead on the clock. So
okay.
Kenny couldn't figure out the problems, and he lost as well. And the same thing happened to me in this game.
Okay.
A3,
welcome to Monkey Shake, by the way. Monkey Shake says hi, Calvin, and special guest Henry.
I'm just quickly go through this.
Yeah.
I remember in the game I was thinking maybe I should just play. I took on A3.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe it makes sense and
take on A3. Just keep the structure.
This position must be so good for white.
Yeah, does it look nice? Yeah, because that.
But I think I decided I'm going to play more directly in the game.
Okay.
But then he sort of forestalled me. Castles. But even this position obviously is pretty good for.
Looks very nice.
Oh, he didn't take. After that he played
knight d7. Yeah.
Okay, f7 check.
Okay. Yeah, I actually checked out this game a while ago. Not deeply, just went through it. I'm like, whoa, lots of complications here. How were you feeling during this moment or these moments? Were you quite positive?
Yeah, obviously, you feel confident, right? Because you've got a good position. But at the same time, the guy's not using any time.
Okay.
And I think, I definitely wasn't confident enough in my. Like I think like a Watu or a Daniel would be able to play this position a lot better than me.
Okay.
They've just got a better feeling for it than me, I think.
I get you.
But I was spending a lot of time trying to work everything out, right? And I think that's sort of like what costs you in the end as well against Adley, because when it gets to the critical points, then you don't have enough time to sort of find the winning moves. So for 66.
Okay, this is actually a moment I want to ask you. So Rook F8. This seems like it's even, or materially equal. There's a lot of stuff happening on the board. Is Rook F8 correct? Because I saw this sequence and I'm like, whoa! What? At the end of the day, you were behind. I don't know what happened. Is this the moment, or are you still good after Rook F8?
I'm not sure, actually. I haven't looked at this in a long time.
Because, is there any candidate moves that you can think of besides Rook F8, just off the bat here?
Something like Knight C3 looks...
Because Black's pieces are looking a bit loose here, but maybe the Rooks can actually start looking good at some point. So
yeah, Knight C3 looks tempting, just hitting D5. I mean, I'm sure I'm...
You're definitely for choice here. Right? Yeah. Okay, so Rook F8, interesting.
Maybe Knight E3 is scary. I'm not sure. Yeah, I remember it. Like I didn't have a lot of time left here.
Oh, okay. Now if you don't have much time here already, then You need to play instinctively as well.
Yeah, that's one of the problems is as well, because he plays such an offbeat opening. I remember like spending, I spent more time than I should have.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. I mean, the way he played, I should just have played normal moves quickly.
Yeah. Okay, so rook f8. Obviously, king takes leads to mate.
Yeah,
so queen takes.
Queen d5.
So you're getting your rook back, seems.
Yeah, but I missed this. When I played rook f8, I missed this. Queen f6.
That's a nice move, yeah. So the queen is knocking the rook on a1 and then the knight on g5. And the queen, of course, on c6. Yes, yeah, is that what you probably missed in this time scramble?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a time scramble for him.
Okay, not a time scramble for him, just for you, yeah.
He had more than an hour left, I think.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I definitely missed queen f6.
Okay.
Yeah, rook f8's a blunder for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's maybe where you went wrong. But it's a pity because it seemed like you were just better all the way through. But he's playing this game. He's playing this game where he's
Kenny as well was like +10 against him.
Sure. Wow.
Like according to a computer evaluation, right? But it's
okay.
The problem here is knight g5 and knight e2 are both hanging. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame. Okay, so you must have not felt too great after this one, having such a nice opening. But what can you do?
So I lost this game.
Okay.
But okay, the guy, like I said, the guy is very good at this.
And tell me, how many months ago was that game compared to this one?
This one was played in June of 2011.
Yeah.
And then the game that I beat him was played in September. So it's like 3 months.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So this is now the game we're seeing the info of. This is the one that we're gonna see for today.
Yeah. Okay. So sort of that game influenced my sort of approach against Adli.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Right. So I decided this time with White, I'll just try to sit on him a little bit.
Yeah.
And not give him. Just try and avoid sort of like those kinds of positions and play quickly as well.
Yeah.
Which I think as well. Like I was stronger. Maybe not sure. Like chess-wise, how much stronger I would have been. Maybe not at all. But definitely, I was more confident. And being confident helps a lot with like playing quickly.
Definitely.
Yeah. As a side note, in chess, it's definitely better to be overconfident than to be.
Yes.
Worried about too much. Okay, so.
Okay, so obviously he's not gonna repeat that suspectness of last time.
I think
this is his main line. I suppose his main setup for black.
Yeah, I'm not sure what influenced, like why exactly he changed. Yeah, but okay, this is obviously a normal opening.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously White has quite a few choices here.
Yeah.
Okay, so bishop e2.
The Karpov way.
Yeah, that's probably the most boring way you could play it, right? The most,
hey, don't say that, Henry. That's my favorite line, bishop e2.
that's the one that I played sort of like growing up.
Yeah, I also remember growing up. Garry Kasparov, Garry Kasparov and Anand as well. In their world champs, they had a lot of these ones. Very interesting stuff. Okay.
So. Okay. So
e5, right?
Pretty normal things. Okay, but here, the move I played here, I think is even in the bishop e2 line. This move is
now this is exactly
conservative.
I want to ask you actually about this. This is actually quite cool. This when I saw this game for the first time, I was amazed with your strategy, and I never saw this idea at all, and I was so impressed with the strategy. I've actually also played this setup before. I remember fondly a couple of years ago, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe I was playing for Steinitz that time, and I played at the Western Province League game against ACL, I think. No, not ACL. That time I think they were called Chess Cube. Who was Mark
yeah.
Levitt? I played Mark Levitt
Mark
on board
Levitt.
1, and Mark
Okay.
played this E5 Sicilian against me, and I played this setup, and it didn't seem like he's familiar with it, and I was cruising all the way, like I put him in a huge bind, and I just got everything. I had such an easy game against him, and I was just amazed how he wasn't aware of it at that point. But seeing this game for the first time, so my question to you is, Henry, did you see this idea somewhere? Did you cook it up yourself, or what's the history behind the setup?
Okay, I definitely did not cook it up myself. No,
Okay.
I saw it somewhere. I can't remember where. But it looks like something, like that amongst the top sort of like modern players. It looks like something Michael Adams would play probably.
Yes.
So it might be one of his games.
And this where at this point when you played it, was it like new stuff, or was it already old stuff and you just discovered it?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. And again, I'm not sure about the answer.
And okay, I'm throwing you with a lot of questions here. Sorry, Henry, I'm throwing you a lot of questions. But the thing is, how did Adley react to this? Did it seem like he knew the setup for white?
Well, it's hard to tell with Adley because
he always plays fast.
He always plays fast, so it's hard to tell if you've caught him by surprise, right?
Okay.
But definitely, I think he wouldn't be too happy to see this because it's a different kind of game that you're getting. It's not the typical Sicilian Nudgesdorf where it's maybe opposite side castling and crazy tactics and or lots of theory. This is more about sort of like ideas and maneuvering, and so it's a different kind of thing.
I love this game actually. This is one of my favorite games of yours. So yeah, guys, stay tuned. Keep your eyes open. Here we go.
Yeah, it's nice. Like what I like about this game as well is I managed to beat him. Like I don't think he had like one threat in the entire game.
That's nice.
And yeah, like to beat like a guy who's pretty strong grandmaster.
Yeah.
Like that. Where you don't even let him get into the game. That's always that sounds kind of like my favorite way of winning a game almost.
Brilliant. you sound Fisher-like.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, the idea behind Rookie 1 will become apparent in a few moves.
Yeah.
But basically, what I can say, or what I want to say now, so long, is in these kinds of structures, with the d6 and the e5 pawn against the e4 pawn, like black is almost always like if black can play the move d6 to d5,
yes,
and exchange those 2 pawns, the e4 pawn for the d5 pawn, then black is at the very least equal, and often like even better. So like a lot of the play in this structure and this bishop e2 line is like for white, and for black, like everything is going around the d5 square.
Yes.
White wants to stop black from playing d5, and black wants to try and play d5 if possible.
And of course, you want to occupy the d5 square with a piece if you can for white, but
yeah,
black is always somehow also trying to force you to capture with the pawn, and then it's not favorable.
So if you can take with the piece and you can keep the d file open and put pressure on the d6 pawn, then obviously white is always a little bit better. At the same time, in these positions, white doesn't get anything more than a slight edge, if even that.
Okay, so definitely a different approach than the previous game.
Yeah, I think it's the nice thing about this is it's maybe not always what black players playing the Nudgesdorf what they want to play.
What they want, yeah.
If you're playing the Nudgesdorf as black in the Sicilian, you're not playing it to sort of
slightly worse. Right? Yeah. Get you.
So I think psychologically it was a good choice against him.
Okay, guys. So check out this deep move, Rookie 1. So what next?
Okay, so Rookie 1, so Bishop E6.
Thank you to Kola for following. Welcome to the show. So Bishop E6. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, just press the follow button if you can't chat in the chat box. If you want to ask us questions and so on, just make sure that you sign up to Twitch on the home page. It's completely free, and then you just come back and press the follow button. It's usually the purple heart down there, and then you can join us. Okay, so Bishop E6.
Yeah, so obviously that black is threatening to play D5. So what's next move is pretty obvious. Bishop F3.
Stopping D5, okay.
So stops D5. Okay, knight BD7. Okay, A4. It's also just a normal like prophylactic move. Stops black from playing
B5
and getting space on the queen side. Okay, rook c8. Okay. a5. It's also, just fixes these 2 pawns on b7 and a6.
Cramping black
So
even more.
Yeah, if black wants to play b5, then he has to be sure that after something like this,
a6 pawn is also big.
Yeah, that he's going to be okay with having that guy.
Yeah.
For the rest of the game. Maybe it's still fine. I don't know.
We've got a question here, Henry, in the chat box. Apologies to Bet Whisperer. You were throwing some moves here for the previous game. I didn't see rook f7 or rook f8 or after rook f7, queen h8. So yeah, apologies for that, Bet Whisperer. Kola says hello. And Alex is asking, why not b5 before knight d7?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely possible. Why not?
Yeah, what I can say, sometimes you can even play a4 after b5 and hit that. The structure can be actually attacked.
Yeah, definitely.
It's also a possibility.
b5. One of the problems with b5 can be a4. And if you take b takes a4, then you're always left with that weak pawn on a6, which is a problem. And if you play b4 and knight d5,
that can also be typical.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of games with this.
I remember there was one game you played, I think, against Denisov Shina. That was last round essay closed also that you won.
Yeah.
There was also a similar structure.
Yeah, I played it as well against the guy from Mozambique. What's the guy's name? Paiva, Donaldo.
Uh-huh.
I played it against him in 2011 as well. And it's funny, eventually he managed to get his knight to d4. So we got something I'm just going to make some random moves.
Yeah.
He got his knight to d4, and then I managed to play there wasn't a bishop on f3 or a knight on b3, and I could just play c3, and the knight was just trapped in the middle.
Oh my, okay.
Which was nice.
Okay, cool. So Alex, you can play it. You can play it, but of course, there's pluses and minuses. I've even seen in some lines in this e5 Sicilian where black sometimes plays b6 and then later on b5 just to avoid that whole a4 business.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, definitely possible, Alex.
I mean, for white, what I can say is there's different ways you can try to play it. You can try to play a5 and say bishop d2 and rook a4, and just try to gang up on this b4 pawn.
And if black does play a5 himself, if he has time, then those light squares become weak as well. So
yeah, sure.
that's also an issue. Yeah.
I mean, you've got this light squared bishop, and black's only counterplay basically is at some point playing
f5.
f5 and e4.
Yeah.
But it's not that quick. So.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely you can play like this.
Also, a general rule is sometimes you don't want to be too aggressive with your pawns if you haven't fully developed. So I mean, black naturally wants to just get that knight out. You probably want to play b5. That's why a4 arrives. So a5.
Yeah. a5. Okay, so he played knight c5.
Okay, so now there's some contact.
Yeah, some contacts. Okay, there's some ideas here. One idea that white has in these positions, if he sort of can get the space to do it, is this idea of playing knight d2.
Yeah.
All right, and it's pretty clear where this knight wants to go. If it's possible, f1, e3.
Yeah, that's a beautiful maneuver. I don't know if Karpov ever played it, because I know the Karpov maneuver is playing the knight to, where does knight goes to c1. Let's just get it going. Knight c1, knight a2, knight b4. That was Karpov's maneuver there. But this looks even more aesthetically pleasing to me. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the Karpov, yeah. I mean, the a2, b4 one's also pretty nice, yeah.
Yeah, if you can get it in, but that b4 square is slightly more sensitive, I think. To
I
reach.
think here, for example, the problem, I mean, if black is not going to do anything, then I'd happily play this. But I think probably here already d5 is just, black is just better, probably.
Yeah.
Even if let's say, if I can take, let's say even something like
e5
this,
pawn drops, bishop f6 or at some point.
Yeah, probably there should be a way for black to at least be
take on f3, okay, bishop f6. You should be okay at least, yeah.
Yeah, if not, I mean, probably black is better if it's not.
Interesting.
If not, then it's at least equal. Yeah,
white's pieces aren't playing together nicely.
No, it's going to be very hard to get the guys out properly.
Okay, cool. And that's, I guess, what the Sicilian is about, those dynamics, sometimes sacrificing a pawn even just to get the play. So you need to watch out for that if you're playing this bind type of... I think that's the main thing, actually. When you're playing this restricting or restrictive lines, that you should always watch out for the tactics that your opponent can do to disturb the situation. Okay, so knight c5.
Nice. I like this, like sort of like battle of ideas, It's nice. Okay, so knight c5, I just played bishop to e3. Okay, just a developing move, nothing too special. But now there's also starting to be this idea of maybe knight c1, knight a2, knight b4.
Aha. And the double pawns don't bother you at all right now. Knight takes b3. I know usually you don't mind bishop takes b3 in the Sicilian, but knight takes b3. What do you have?
So he played knight takes b3.
Oh, he actually played knight takes b3. Okay, cool.
Okay, c takes b3. Yeah, it's for the time being, I'm fine with it. let's put it that way.
What's the plus side of it? Maybe the b6 square, or what else?
Yeah, so for the I mean, for one thing, is this knight on b3. It's hard for him to sort of like get involved for the fight for d5. So exchanging off is not. It doesn't bother me too much
compared to the knight on c5. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, like I get this d3 square for my queen.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of variations, right? Because there's no knight c5 to annoy my queen.
Okay.
And I mean, this double pawn, like if I push it to b4 and b5,
then you already have a majority.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, it's not like these pawns are useless.
Like,
I mean, they've got the potential to become. I mean, I have the potential to make a passed pawn on the queen side.
Okay, cool.
And at the same time, like with the pieces sort of the way they are on the board, it's not that easy for him to get in d5. Right?
Yeah.
Which is basically, if he doesn't get d5 in, it's very
what is he playing for?
Another sort of thing that's useful about them is, like, let's say knight d7. I mean, I play b4, and this knight.
Beautiful.
Yeah, not doing that much, right?
And you can just play b5 whenever you want to.
Yeah, if the queen goes to the c file, rook c1 can be annoying with the rook on the.
Nice.
So, I mean, yeah, definitely. I get it. Long term, not that great if he manages to sort of exchange a lot of pieces and then okay, the pawns are not the best.
But right now, yeah, okay, I get you.
There are definitely some plus factors. So they played queen to d7. Okay, so obviously, well, not obviously, but an idea that he can have is to play rook fd8 and to play d5.
Pushing for d5 again, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So what I want to do, obviously, is I want to also double on the d file. But the problem that I have at the moment is if I play a move like queen d2 or queen d3, then this
b3
pawn is a bit of a problem. So luckily for me, there's a different way of managing to accomplish that, and I can play the move rook e2.
Yeah, also a typical type of move in these systems, eh? Might look a bit odd to someone that doesn't play e4, for instance, but also I think this is quite a beautiful maneuver here. Rook e2 going for rook d2.
Yeah, definitely. I like this this maneuver. So the idea, like you said, rook e2 going to rook d2. So if he plays, let's say, rook there, whatever, rook d2 just completely still stops the d5 break.
Yeah, look at these bishops. These bishops are just restricting everything. Yeah, I like this. And the rook and the queen is beautifully placed. Okay.
Yep. So rook e2, he played a bit of a strange move, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe he wasn't sure what exactly he should be doing.
Yeah, maybe he's not too happy with what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like I said, at least not the kind of guy who spends too much time trying to figure things out. Like he relies a lot on his tactical ability to sort of like come to his rescue.
Okay.
Yeah. So h6, again, not sure what exactly the point is. I'm not sure that I want to play bishop g5 and exchange my Dorscott bishop for the f6 knight.
Yeah.
I don't want to. If I can exchange the bishop on f6 for the knight on the bishop for the knight on f6, and then I can exchange the light quit bishops.
That would be beautiful.
Maybe I'm okay with that exchange.
Yeah.
And stay with the sort of the good knight against bad bishop kind of thing. But I'm not sure even if that was something that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Okay, rook d2. obvious move. Okay, rook c7. Okay, h3. Okay, just a useful move. I want to stop, like, potentially
Knight g4, bishop g4.
And at the same time, it's useful to just get the square for the king.
Okay.
I mean, the back rank. So, and again, like h6 and rook c7, the moves that he made also, they're not doing anything at the moment, right?
Yeah.
What is he?
Yeah, we've got someone in the chat. Alex is saying knight e8 instead of h6, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe
That's
an idea,
possible.
yeah. I mean, Adley is very passive here. But where's the knight going?
Idea, yeah,
are you thinking about f5? Lolda
yeah,
says...
I was thinking as well.
Yes, knight e8 with f5. Welcome, Lolda.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking even knight g4 to sort of try and get a tempo on the bishop and then play f5.
Yeah, almost like a Sveshnikov style type of thing, just trying to attack.
I think he should have tried something like... it would have been more in his style to play for something like this.
Just to unbalance the situation a bit. Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not too upset.
Yeah.
Does that.
Yeah, so Lolda says, hi guys, welcome to the show, Lolda.
Let's say I play something like h3.
Yeah.
So f5, if he plays, okay, he also, like, he can prepare it a little bit better. But if he plays f5 like this, I've got this queen d5 check maybe to pick up these two guys.
Aha. So it does look slightly, yeah, I don't know if the word is right, unnatural for black to do this, but black he's suffering, he needs to try something.
Yeah, or if he does this, then
bishop d5, bishop g4.
I thought maybe bishop g4.
Yeah, just swap of light squared bishops. That looks very nice.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, again, like, I'm not sure how much better white is, if it's better at all.
Yeah, so the knight's coming back to f6 eventually to neutralize that d5 square. So
yeah, at some point I'd have to try and play b4 and
e5. Yeah,
get something going on the queen side. Yeah, definitely this would have been a good try for him.
Yeah, definitely interesting. Okay.
Not sure about knight c7 though.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's really helping much in the situation.
Because what's the knight doing on c7 that it wasn't doing on f6?
Yeah, I guess f5 is the main idea. Interesting ideas here from the chat box. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so he plays
h6.
h6. Rook d2, rook c7, h3. Okay, he played rook e8. Again, it's hard to say what he's doing.
I think you should be happy if a guy like Adley is playing these type of moves. You should be feeling
definitely. Good. Maybe I caught him on a bad day as well. Because it doesn't seem like he's playing too
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like what you're doing. So I'm not gonna take anything away from you. So
rook e8. Okay, bishop b6. Let's just tickle the rook.
Right.
c6. Okay. Played knight a4. Okay, so what I want to do, basically, like if let's say he plays a random move, say he plays rook f8, for example, what I want to do is I want to play knight c5.
Yeah, utilize the pin.
I want to come and grab the e6 bishop. That's basically what I want to do.
So let's say something like, I don't know, where does the queen go? c8. Takes. Can he play pawn takes? Are you happy with that structure?
Yeah, definitely, I'm happy.
Okay, so what's the game plan here?
Again, it's here. I think now this bishop is actually, it looks a little bit stupid at the moment because it's just looking at the pawn. But as soon as, like, again, black's only sort of like active play is like this d5 break. And as soon as he plays d5, this bishop on f3 is going to
explode, basically. Yeah.
It's going to be a lot happier than it is at the moment. And meantime, like, things that I want to do if I have the chance is to play basically like let's say something like b4 and queen b3.
Oh, nice. Okay, now it's already making much more sense.
b5.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
But basically, I want to try and get that e6 bishop if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he played rook to c8.
Now he can just take twice on c5 with the rooks.
Yeah, so if I play knight c5, he can take.
Yeah.
So that's not good. So I went back bishop e3. So now I've got this
Knight b6 threat.
Knight b6. Winning the exchange. So okay, let me see. Bishop back e3. So he went bishop d8. I guess stopping knight b6, obviously hitting this pawn. But this gave me the chance to actually play what I wanted to play, knight c5, because of a little tactic.
Okay.
Right. So the point being that if he takes on c5, I can take,
beautiful, beautiful.
Takes back, and I've got rook d6 at the end.
Nice, and the bishop hangs. Okay. Yeah, so did he miss this? I think he maybe missed it.
It could be that he missed it. At the same time, it's not that easy
to do anything for black.
If he moves the c8 rook away, then I've got knight c5 in any case.
Yeah, so you're kind of forcing the issue here. He doesn't really have much choices.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if you put this on the computer still, the evaluation would be close to 0.
Equal. But okay, practicality is different story.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I played this bishop d8. Okay, so I get knight c5, queen e7, knight e6.
So you get
maybe he wasn't even too worried about this, right? Maybe he thought, okay, it's not that bad. It's also possible. But yeah, I quite like the next moves that I played. I'm pretty happy. I like the way I played on the light squares.
Okay, so can we give the viewers a chance here to maybe to give some suggestions?
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see if anybody wants to guess the next move.
So yeah, white to play. So you're saying we utilizing some of the light squares, Henry?
Yes, that is what this next part of the game is about. I got my light squared bishop. I got his light squared bishop. I've got 2 bishops. And
just here in the chat box, what are they saying? Yeah, Lolder says nice slow squeeze, and Alex says tull move. So I'm assuming that knight c5 tull like. So guys, any suggestions? White to play? I've got some ideas here. Maybe a move that I've seen before. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe black doesn't off the bat need to be completely sad. I mean, he's got. If you just walk past, you can see black has got 2 active rooks. Okay, this bad bishop you need to get out somehow. At least it's doing something over there. These pawns sometimes can be useful to keep the pieces out. So,
I see Benella is saying b4, queen b3.
Yes,
I like.
I like that idea.
An idea that I like. It's not what I played.
b4, queen b3 looks cool.
One of the maybe something that I was worried about, I'm not sure, is just if you play b4, you're giving the c4 square for the rook as well. So not immediately, maybe because d6 is hanging, but there's this ideas of rook c4 and hitting b4 and e4.
So think about the drawbacks as well when we're playing. Every move you make has a drawback. That's the nature of life. So any other suggestions, guys, before Henry gives it to us? Any other suggestions?
Yeah, b4, queen b3, it's definitely looks good as well.
Yeah, I'm actually also not sure what's happening here. So white to play. What to do? So I'm also thinking of some ideas where you can lift the a1 rook, but okay, your back rank is not allowing that at all. Sometimes bishop e2 is also possible, but now the e4 pawn will be hanging. I'm also pretty stuck here. I was also thinking about b4 and queen b3. If there's nothing in the chat box, then Henry, I think you can. There we have. King Ulster says g4. Let's go.
Let's launch Gary the G pawn up the board. I'm not sure I see the point of g4 though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you throw in g4, I think you're just creating more weaknesses for yourself on the king side if you want to play g5.
Struggling to see what exactly I'm trying to do with g4.
Yeah, so I think
Although
that's
the same could be said of the move I played in the game. So don't take it.
definitely A for enthusiasm there or energy, King Ulster.
Just something in general is. So just this is maybe not relevant for the specific position, but just in general, if you have two bishops, right, and your opponent doesn't have two bishops, so in this case he's got a bishop and a knight. The bishop that white is looking to sort of maximize is this light squared bishop, right?
Yeah.
The reason being that black does not have a light squared bishop of his own to fight against mine.
Yeah.
So what I would want to do ideally is sort of I would want to put my pawns on squares that try and restrict his bishop and his knight, and that give my white squared bishop the maximum scope.
Yeah.
So I'd rather try to put my pawns on like b4, a5, g3, h4, put them on dark squares and try to sort of get the power of this light squared bishop.
Yes.
Okay, so that's something in general when you're playing with two bishops against a bishop and a knight. Your most powerful bishop is going to be typically the one that does not have an opponent.
Yes. Here's another suggestion here, by the way, Henry, before you give us the move. Laparot says rook d3. Laparot, that's another deep move. What's your idea behind rook d3?
Maybe he wants to play queen d2 and rook d1.
Perhaps, yeah. Interesting idea there, Laparot. So, I get what you're saying there, Henry. So, I think you can give us an idea what's happening here.
Okay, so the move I played is queen f1.
I like it. Queen f1.
Like I said, like it doesn't always. It's maybe not that easy to. I'm trying to figure out what exactly the point was.
Queen f1. Maybe you can reroute the queen to d3 because that's one idea because that rook d3 and queen. That Laparot suggested the c2 square becomes weak, but here you can still cover it.
I want to play queen d3. I think like ideally what I want to do, but I don't want to say it now because I'm sort of giving away what happened in the game as well.
I get you.
But okay, queen f1. Let's just assume it was an okay move for now.
Okay.
It doesn't blunder anything, and I had an idea in mind.
And you're keeping an eye on the light squares.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the light squares, yes. Because I think the move he played was actually a blunder.
And then Lolder says Karpovian style there, Henry, with queen f1. Karpovian style. Keeping the theme.
A compliment, thanks. Thanks for the compliment. So rook c2, I think that's a mistake. I don't think he should exchange rooks. Like he's got control of this open c file.
Yeah.
And I don't think he should exchange the rooks at all. So I took, take, and I played the simple move, queen to d3.
Okay. So the pawn on b2, is it taboo?
Of course, that's not too hard to see that pawn is...
The rook is going to get trapped.
Multiple ways, right? Queen c3 looks pretty good.
Yeah, bishop c1 is also possible, yeah.
Yeah, that pawn is definitely not a pawn he wants to take.
So he needs to now probably go back to c6.
Yeah, so he went all the way back to
c8. Okay.
This is pretty passive. Okay. And now I played the move that Panele wants to play, b4.
Okay, so finally we get in b4.
Okay, so he plays queen d7, just stops me from playing b5. Okay, and now I played another move that I like, and that I'm sure people will be able to find as well.
Any suggestions, guys? Rose Moon saw b4 early on. Any suggestions from the crowd, from the viewers? I see a couple of candidate moves. There's like a rook d1. Sometimes you can even still play b5, I guess. Queen b3 is also there. What else?
Let me say hi to my wife.
Oh, is that your wife, Rosemoon?
Yeah, Rosemoon's my wife.
Okay, welcome Rosemoon to the show. And thank you for lending us your husband.
I'm not sure. Maybe because I see she suggested a move. Maybe she remembers the game. I remember I gave her the score sheet after the game.
Shoot. Yeah, but that's a beautiful move. Beautiful move. She's suggesting a bishop d1, just trying to use the light squares.
So that is what I played in the game. Yeah.
Nice.
So just the bishop, trying to get a better diagonal for the bishop. So either on b3 or on a4.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's amazing. You were talking about that bishop we want to maximize. So beautiful maneuver. That e4 pawn was hanging in all variations. But I mean, this queen f1, queen d3 starts to make sense now. So you're relieving the bishop of the duty of protecting e4, and now that bishop can actually do what it's born for.
I think even if it didn't exchange rooks, I think my next moves would probably have been to play queen to d3 to cover e4, and then play bishop and play b4 and bishop d1, bishop b3.
Yeah.
Or bishop a4.
So the bishop was destined for that post, not the queen.
Yeah. Okay, so here he's okay. So my bishop isn't protecting d5, so he
goes ahead with d5, the one chance he gets to do it.
d5, yep. Okay. So bishop a4 just forces his queen to an awkward square. So queen f7. So take on f5. I take on d5. Take on d5. And another nice move on the light squares. A double attack.
And then, by the way, just again, it seems like black has achieved something here, guys, with this big center. So if you haven't been looking at the whole context of the game, you might think that black is doing good. He's weak on the light squares. What to do? White to play.
Black, if black could maybe stabilize, then he would probably be doing okay. But this d5 pawn is always going to be in this diagonal, and even this diagonal, they're always going to give him problems.
Big problems, on the light squares.
You can see this bishop, as soon as black tries to open the position or play d5 and the position opens up, the power of this light squared bishop becomes if black can't play, plays d4.
Very difficult. So I think I spotted the double attack and you guys spotted white to play. So always tactics, always watch out for stuff that's hanging. Pick up on the signs, guys. What's hanging in black's position. Earl says queen f5.
Yep, queen f5, good move. So hits e5.
Well done. Well done.
c8. Okay. So rook c4. And so here Adli comes, okay, even though maybe his position is not that great, still the guy is tricky. If you give him a chance, he's going to.
Of course.
But here I managed to find a move to shut him down a little bit, which was a nice move, I think. So queen e5, rook b4 is obviously possible.
Yeah.
And still that should be pretty good for white. But I like this move that I played. Bishop to b4. Bishop to c5, sorry. Just defending the b4 pawn.
Still threatening e5. And you've got, I guess you've got bishop b3 in mind as well.
A lot of things. So e5 is hanging, bishop b3 is awkward, and there's also this queen c8. And I'm influenced, it's very hard to defend this.
Yes. Wow. Guys, look at this. Look at these bishops. Not allowing the queen to defend the bishop easily. Is queen c7 possible?
Yeah, probably. Queen c7.
You got to check on e6 and bishop b6 perhaps. There's lots of stuff happening here. Bishop b6, you can take on d8, take on e5. Definitely awkward for black. Oof, those light squares long term is not good. So
not so good, no. Okay, so as the after bishop c5 played king to h8. Okay, that's actually what happened in the game. Yeah.
So I like that bishop c5 move, Henry. You're keeping the tension, and I mean you're not letting the guy breathe for a second here. Keeping the tension, very important. Lolda says, never too old to learn. Very nice idea, playing on light squares. James says, hello, welcome James to the show. And Lolda says, I think Adli did not realize the danger playing around the center law. And sorry, Henry, just a last comment here. Earl says, saw one of Steel's game covered by Mato Jelic a while ago. Think some good out of book move in the Sicilian. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
My opening book doesn't go very deep. So,
yeah, but anyway.
to improvise. sometimes.
So yeah, no, but like I said, you haven't given Adli really a chance to breathe here. So King H8
Again,
on the board.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm keeping a good grip on the position.
Yeah.
I'm not giving him the complications that he wants.
Yeah.
So Queen C8, Queen C7, Queen E6
Yeah.
is what happened.
Aha.
I mean, look at this queen. Like this queen, it can't move. Right?
Oof, wow.
So
Wow. And the rook is in no man's land. He doesn't know what he's doing.
the rook can't do anything on its own.
The bishop on D8 is sad. And the knight on F6 is just basically waiting for orders. He doesn't know what to do. He's just trying to hold the center together. So yeah, black is very awkwardly placed. And you're doing all of this without your rook on A1, by the way.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when I get the chance, I'm gonna bring this guy in. And
Yeah.
hopefully, the last piece coming in should be enough to.
Yeah.
Okay, so he played E4, which I think it's a desperado.
Okay, so what's his idea here? E4.
He's just trying anything. I think maybe he wants to play Queen F4 and Bishop C7. Maybe
I guess so, yeah.
But that's pretty desperate. So the obvious drawback of E4 is it takes a lot of squares away from the rook. So
Bishop B3
is pretty obvious.
So it doesn't seem like Rose Moon remembers everything because Rose Moon was suggesting Bishop D6 first. Maybe it's coming.
Bishop D6 it doesn't win the. Oh, he's got Rook C1, right?
Rook C1 check, yeah. That did seem very dangerous for a moment, yeah.
For a moment, I thought I could have won the queen. Bishop D6.
Bishop D6 is interesting, yeah, but let's black out for a second, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, Bishop C7 check.
Like this.
But yeah, and then Bishop C7, yeah. But still, just take on C1.
Maybe he's got some drawing chances here, maybe.
Maybe. If you compare it to the game, what do you think?
Yeah, no, compared to the game, this is a lot better than he got in the game.
Okay. Sure. And Rose Moon just confesses, I really don't remember the game. It was in 2011, lol. Thanks, Rose Moon.
C4. Okay, so Bishop B3 just picks up the exchange.
Okay, cool. Rook is just doomed. So that Bishop C5 strategy, this is the crowning the strategy over there with that.
But I like almost all of my nice moves were like the queen come to F1, then to D3, then Bishop D1, Bishop B3, and then Queen F5, Queen C8, Queen back to E6.
This is brilliant, man. And you're doing all of this with a very unconventional pawn structure. Like I said, every time someone would walk past, theoretically walk past, and you see and you think like black is okay, but black was never okay. So yeah it's very cool.
I like all of my moves almost are on the light squares. Like so, that's something that I like. So okay, Rook C5. Okay, luckily, or not luckily, but okay, here it doesn't even get that much because there's a pretty easy.
I was gonna ask you now, Henry, because this is the stage usually when us mere mortals start messing up. You pick up the exchange. What's the time situation like at this point? Or how are you feeling? What was the time?
I remember I still had a lot of time. That was a nice thing as well.
Okay. So that's a big plus in the situation. So you can just
more than 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely. So here, not luckily, but I have this move as well.
Oof, nice. Oh, nice. Okay, the D file, beautiful.
Yeah.
So just as black thinks he's got something still to hold on to, you just smashes his whole hope.
Yep, nice. He had nothing. Yeah. Okay, he tries his luck a little bit. E3.
Okay.
I just take it. Bishop takes A5. Bishop takes B7. Bishop D2.
And what was his clock like? He's still on. He doesn't think a lot, like you said.
I think he probably had like around 50 minutes left, I'd say.
Okay, so the guy's just never in time trouble, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a lot less than he had in our first games.
Okay.
But yeah, still quite a lot of time.
Okay.
Okay, Bishop takes A6, Bishop E3, check, King H1.
King H1.
Queen D4. Okay, and yeah, some last light square maneuvers to finish the game off. So
Okay.
Bishop C4. Okay, so obviously rook A8 is a bit of a threat. Can be annoying. What did he play? He played bishop F4. Okay. Okay, so rook A8. Maybe it's not that strong immediately. King H7, Queen F5, G6. Everything is sort of hanging on.
Yeah.
Look, I don't see any immediate.
No checks on the 7th rank. But
Even
rook.
bishop G8.
Yeah, you've got no checks on the 7th rank. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I think I found again just a nice little move just to sort of like emphasize that he doesn't. There's nothing he can do really. It's just bishop B3 to get bishop C2.
Bishop C2. Oh, nice. I was thinking about the rook F1 there, but bishop B3 looks quite cool. Yeah. Bishop B3
so the threat
looks
now is rook A8 and then bishop C2 and then Queen F7 is made.
Nice. Okay. So light squares all the way.
Yeah. So he played queen back to D8.
So King Ulster says black venturing onto white squares is desperado, as Henry says, and Rosemoon says queen C8 first? Question mark.
So here queen C8.
So queen C8 first, and then King H7.
Does it change anything in this position?
I'm not sure. Can Rosemoon maybe let us know when queen C8? Instead of bishop B3, is that what you're saying? Yes, instead of bishop b3, queen c8. So queen c8, king h7. And are you suggesting then bishop b3 or what?
Yeah, that's it.
Probably it will lead to the same thing. But I mean, you want to leave yourself the option of rook a8 check, I guess.
Queen, it's definitely winning queen e6 or whatever.
Yeah.
His king is way too
I guess it's just a matter of taste, yeah. How you want to do it. Yeah, but definitely also interesting move there.
Bishop b3. Okay, so queen d8. Queen f5.
Setting up bishop c2.
Okay, so maybe, he's trying his one trick in the position.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay, rook c1.
Okay, rook c8 coming.
Bishop c5. Bishop c7.
7, yeah.
Queen c5.
Now, of course, we want to just get the queens off the board.
Yeah, I think with the extra pawn on b2, it's pretty
easy, yeah. Yeah.
So you tried queen to d3. Queen f8 check.
Oh, and it's over.
This is where he resigned. Yeah.
Okay, so knight g8 obviously is mate, and king h7. Yeah. Bishop c2 snatches the queen. Lovely. Wow. So guess who gets to say the last word here eventually as that light squared bishop. So yeah, that's a masterpiece over there, Henry. A beautiful game. And I mean, it was such a nice bind, but I mean the tactical side and the dynamics that you used, and that's so important with these binds and positional binds. You have to use tactics a lot of times and dynamic play to achieve your strategical goals and these binds. So I mean, as a nice balanced display, I would say. Nice setup as well, considering the previous game that you mentioned, and just how you adjusted your strategy from the get-go psychologically as well. It all makes sense, yeah. Like to all of us at home, a lot of us were shocked and surprised and so on, and were like wowed by you. But I mean, going through all of this with you, it kind of makes sense. I mean, and all credit to you. You deserve this wonderful victory. Yeah. So yeah, that was amazing. Thanks for showing us this one, Henry.
No, thanks. It's fun to, it's one of the first times I've played through it in about 9 years. So
okay,
it's nice to, play through it in detail. So it's nice to go through it again.
So was this the last time that you played Adley? Have you played him again after this?
In 2018, I was at the African. I wasn't playing the African individuals, but I was there, and I played the Blitz tournament.
Yeah,
and I played against him with black in the Blitz tournament.
Okay.
And I think Mabu's got that game on his phone because he was recording the whole one.
Oh, okay. How did that one go?
No, I managed to swindle him in a rook endgame.
Okay, nice. Mulky Shake says, "Wow, was great listening to IM Henry explaining." Thanks, Mulky Shake. Yeah, Henry, and just talking about this variation. I don't know if it's from you that I saw, or is it? It must have been from one of your games where this variation was. I also saw you play this variation, and then some maneuver. The bishop was on f3, the knight's on f1 or something, or even on e3. But somehow g4 got played.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember any games. G4 also kind of makes sense. It's a bit more risky. G4 and I think I saw one of those.
When I was younger, I used to play this opening a bit differently. I used to play it like this. I used to play it with. So I mean, there are different moves, right? F4 is a move as well.
Okay. No, this is not what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this is also very mainline stuff.
And then I used to play it with F5 and G4.
Okay. Yeah. And Laparot is asking, maybe Laparot missed the first part of it. He's asking Bishop E2 and Rook E1 all preparation. So
one thing I should mention about the all African games in Mozambique is I don't think I even had a computer there.
Wow.
We were staying. We didn't have. We had rooms, but we didn't have furniture in the rooms.
Okay.
We didn't have any tables or chairs.
Sure.
We had
rough conditions.
Yeah. No, that was. I think actually that's also something that gave me an advantage maybe. I remember for that tournament I was actually sleeping on the balcony on a mattress.
Oh wow!
not even inside.
Sure.
There were some issues with the room allocations. Yeah.
Well, at least you pulled through over
there. This wasn't like game specific preparation. It was just like an idea I saw somewhere that I decided to play during that game. So
okay.
Again, for Adli, it's hard to prepare because he'll play any sort of any move on the first move.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, guys. So that's our game of the day. With Henry playing Grandmaster Adli, of course. Adli, we all know Adli as one of the best players on the continent. And Henry, I just want to thank you for showing us this game, for coming out and for chatting with all of us here in the chat box. If there's any final questions, guys, you should just throw it in here. Lolda says thanks, Calvin and Henry. And thanks to the new followers as well. If you have friends that love chess, if you know of someone that also enjoy this channel, just tell everybody you know about it. Press the follow button if you haven't pressed the follow button yet to enable the chat. If you can't press the follow button, just make sure to go to the homepage of Twitch and just sign up firstly. It's absolutely for free. Then come back and press the follow button. Henry, from my side also, is there any let me rather ask in this way, are we going to see IM Steel play in any events in the future? Is it a possibility?
Well, a lot of it depends on coronavirus as well, I guess.
There's a nice dodge over there, I like it.
No, I don't know. It depends. It depends a lot. Like I said, I'm not feeling that motivated at the moment. Maybe I'll try to come back for one Olympiad. Maybe I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But I still enjoy chess. I'll do something with chess every day, even if I'm not playing actively. It's still a big part of my life. So,
that's good to hear. Yeah, no, that's great, and I think SA would love to have you back in the Olympiad team at some point. I think we can do wonders.
I mean, where are the juniors coming? Watu, Kenny, those guys have been in the Olympiad team for 30 years now.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
no, we need some fresh blood in the Olympiad team.
Yeah, but once again, Henry, thanks for joining us. Let me just read the last few stuff in the chat box, and then I think we can call it a day. So Laparot says, brilliant positional game, Henry. Milky Shake Shake says, thanks, guys. Rosemoon says, yes, please. So, yeah, I think that's yes, please for playing more chess. And Milky Shake Shake says, are you playing in the Paradigm next weekend? So Milky Shake Shake probably missed the first part of the show.
Yeah, I'm playing. Like, I have big respect for Lorenzo, who, you know, he loves chess. He really loves chess. And then he also, like, he goes to great lengths, and he puts a lot of effort into organizing like a really, really good tournament every year. So I think a lot of people in South Africa can like learn a lot from his example. Who, like, if you know, somebody who loves chess and who, you know, wants to see good chess and, you know, does his best to create good conditions for like good chess to be played. So yeah, I mean, whenever Lorenzo asks me to play, I'll definitely play, because he just always makes it such a pleasant experience.
Fantastic. So that's something exciting to look forward to, guys. It's a new variant called Paradigm Chess 30 with a new piece on the board. It's called a Dragon Bishop. You don't want to miss out on it. Let me actually just show you guys just a list of players in 2 seconds here so that you know who's going to play with Henry. So that's the tournament schedule, and that's the confirmed players list. It's Watu, Henry, myself, David, Daniel, Craig, Kenny, and Maxwell. It's a star-studded field, guys. Lots of prizes up for grabs. Like Henry said, Lorenzo knows how to organize a tournament. So it's a one-day event over the board. So we are going to try to stream this event for everybody to see. So check it out, guys. Coming soon, next weekend. Okay, cool. So, Henry, any final words? I think I'm just very happy that you're on the show and you showed us one of your best games. There's so many others. You beat Kamsky, you beat McShane. There's so many other games that we could have seen. But like I told you before the show as well, this is one of my favorite games. Thanks again for joining.
I'll make a confession. Actually, I haven't even looked at the game I played against Kamsky once since I beat him. I've never looked at it since I beat him in 2014. I haven't played through it even one time.
Is that because it's so beautiful you don't want to look at it again?
No, it's pretty much the opposite, unfortunately.
But okay.
I was dead lost. I mean, I think he could have finished me off in a million different ways, and I think I got him on a very, very bad day. No, it's not one of my games. The thing I think I displayed what I did have in that game was I fought well to survive, and then even afterwards when it was equal, I didn't try to think about how to make a draw. I was playing as soon as I equalized and got back into the game, I was 100% sure I'm going to win.
Nice. I mean, not a lot of people can do that, Henry. You shouldn't undersell yourself too much. So
I think the chess wasn't that good, but I think the battle off the board was
I think that
I have good memories of.
That's brilliant achievement, by the way. So Henry, you must enjoy the rest of your day. Where am I now? Yeah. So thanks so much again for joining us, International Master Mohamed Henry Steel. Looking forward to next weekend. But yeah, just thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks to the viewers for following, and yeah. You must have a good day.
Thanks for taking the time to have me, and thanks for the people who watched and asked questions. I always, even if I'm not playing chess, I like to talk about it. So I like it was a nice opportunity for me to just do something that I enjoy. So thanks a lot.
Great stuff. We're all happy to have you on the show. And by the way, we will be uploading this on YouTube, guys. So if you missed out on it or you want to show anybody else about this channel, then you can just go on to YouTube, Calvin Klaasen Chess as well. Okay, Henry, thanks for the show. I'll see you again. I'll see you for the tournament.
Cool. Thanks, Calvin. Cool.
Cheers.
Next week.
See you, everybody. Cheers.
Bye.